All right. Listen up, Minnesota Vikings fans. Please do not panic. We're always so quick to jump on somebody saying, "Oh, he's a diva. He doesn't want to be here. He's not at OTAs." Well, we get it, okay? But at the same time, we've seen this whole spiel time and time again every single year with random players on different teams, and usually more times than not, it decides to work itself out. And that is the same case with Justin Jefferson. Look, Justin Jefferson is not at OTAs, at least the first day of OTAs. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who are like, oh, of course. Of course he's not there. He wants his contract. He's just acting out and stuff like that. And there's a couple of you guys that have left comments about Justin Jefferson being a diva in the past. And I have never seen that from or that side of him at all. It's always been positive vibes coming from Justin Jefferson and Justin Jefferson's camp and stuff like that. And we've already heard throughout the past that Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, Kevin O'Connell and stuff, and Justin Jefferson's group have all had great dialogue about getting a contract extension done, and that is going to happen. Okay, one way or another, it is going to happen. Not only do we as Vikings fans know Justin Jefferson is going to be a Minnesota Viking for the future, but so does the general manager. So does the owners, Ziggy Wilf and Mark Wilf. So does our head coach. Like, this is going to get done one way or another. It's just going to take some time and some more conversations between those. But it's not only just Justin Jefferson who's getting a contract extension at the wide receiver position. There's others out there like a CeeDee Lamb, a Jamar Chase that are trying to set the new wide receiver market for how much they get paid and stuff like that. So this situation is interesting, but let's get right into it. Justin Jefferson not at OTAs. Make sure to subscribe to the channel before doing so. So Minnesota's star receiver Justin Jefferson has been in talks with the team about a new contract extension, but a lack of progress led him to send a message of his unhappiness with the negotiation. I think that paragraph right there is a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I don't think he's unhappy at all. I think he's just kind of waiting to see what other receivers are going to get around the market before he says, "Hey, this is my final offer. You either sign me to that or I play out my final year here in Minnesota and I walk." That's basically, I think, what it comes down to. Now, per ESPN's Adam Schefter, Jefferson was not seen at the team's training facility on Monday for the start of organized team activities, or otherwise known as OTAs. Now, the Vikings have 6 days of OTAs scheduled for the remainder of this month. These workouts are voluntary. Okay, there's another reason not to be so butthurt about this or panic about this. Don't worry. Okay, these are voluntary. I mean, yeah, he should be there, but I can't remember if it was him last year or if it was Kirk Cousins last year who missed like the first day or first 2 days of OTAs. It's not really that important for these guys that have been in the league for the last couple of years. The only time it's really important, or the only people it's really important for, are the rookies, are like, rookie receiver or veteran quarterbacks that are trying to work with rookie receivers, trying to get on the same page earlier than they would normally instead of waiting till training camp. But it is what it is. Right now, these workouts are voluntary, but Jefferson would be subjecting himself to being fined if he skips Minnesota's mandatory minicamp that is set for June 4th through 6th. So right now, you don't need to panic about OTAs. When it comes to mandatory minicamp and he doesn't show up, that's when you start going, okay, what's going on? Where are we at in the contract negotiations? What's actually happening in the Justin Jefferson camp and with the Minnesota Vikings? That's when you kind of got to worry a little bit. And that's when he can get fined a lot of money. But at the same time, if he's about to get paid a lot of money, I don't think he really cares about missing any time of practice. So Jefferson is entering the final year of his rookie deal in 2024, and he will be making $19.7 million on the 5th-year option on his contract. Now, the 3-time Pro Bowler is one of the best receivers. Let's correct that. The best receiver in the National Football League. So it's somewhat surprising that the Vikings have yet to lock him up on a long-term deal. I don't think it's surprising at all. I really don't. I think these things take time. And again, when you're the best receiver in the National Football League and there's other receivers out there who are looking for contracts, you kind of want to wait and see what they're going to get so that you can keep Justin Jefferson happy for a long period of time. Now, despite the lack of progress in contract discussions, I'm not sure if that's 100% true. I thought they've had some pretty good dialogue from what I've seen. Okay, from what I've read, I could be wrong myself, but I think they've had some good discussions. Now, Minnesota head coach Kevin O'Connell expressed confidence that a deal would eventually get done. Here's what he told Kay Adams on the Up and Adams show last week. "I know everything's going to get worked out there, okay? Justin knows the love and admiration that I have for him, and he knows he's such a big part of what we do around here. Obviously, Justin Jefferson's the heart and soul of that offense. You take him out, we're going to start struggling. We've seen it last season, even though Jordan Addison started to, come into his zone, started to prove that he's a decent receiver in this league. So, it is what it is. But the likely holdup like I've mentioned a couple times, is the fact that Jefferson isn't the only star receiver in line for a major payday this offseason. Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals and CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys are also expected to earn contract extensions from their respective teams. So they're likely still waiting to see who sets the market so that they can exceed it. That's basically what I think this all boils down to is, okay, CD signs a contract of yada yada money. Now Jefferson and Jamar Chase know, okay, we can get paid more than that because we're basically the same caliber, if not maybe a little bit better. Who knows what they think in their head? I'm sure they think they're the best. But yeah, still, the Vikings are running the risk of building animosity in their best player. Minnesota is facing a transition year after the departure of quarterback Kirk Cousins and the addition of rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy, who was drafted with the 10th overall pick last month. Now, it will be important for the team to provide some stability for Jefferson if he hopes to avoid losing him, or if it hopes to avoid losing him sooner than expected. So, again, I don't think this is this doesn't warrant any sort of panic out of us as Vikings fans, out of any of the players in the Vikings organization. Like, this is voluntary, organized team activities. Voluntary. That's a key word at the beginning that a lot of people forget to even look at. They just see missed OTAs or is not at OTAs and they're like, oh, okay, he's a diva. Get him out of town. We don't want him. I mean, would you rather deal with a Stephon Diggs or a Justin Jefferson? I'd rather deal with Justin Jefferson. Okay. Stephon Diggs was 100% a diva. We've seen it multiple times. We've seen it with the Vikings way back when we drafted him and when he was, kind of not happy with the contract that he might end up getting. So we traded him. And guess what? Same exact thing happened with the Buffalo Bills. You don't throw him the ball enough, he starts whining. Okay. He starts crying. And guess what? He found his way out of Buffalo. He gets traded over to Houston. Maybe that's because Buffalo just couldn't afford to keep him there. But it is what it is. We've heard the conversations about it, but Justin Jefferson, I honestly think, has had good dialogue with the Minnesota Vikings organization about getting a contract done. Right now, I think it's just a kind of just a waiting game to see where these other receivers or what these other receivers are going to sign and kind of go from there. And plus, maybe he's waiting to see how JJ McCarthy progresses throughout training camp in the preseason, and if he gets a start, and is that a quarterback that Justin Jefferson wants to play under? I think that also plays a little bit of a part, or it plays a role in this whole contract negotiation dispute. So Justin Jefferson not at day one of OTAs. Again, do not panic. It doesn't mean anything. Voluntary. Okay. When it gets to mandatory mini camp, then you can start turning your head and being like, okay, that's day one. Oh, day two. Oh, he wasn't there for 3 days. Okay. Now it's when you start worrying just a little bit. But this deal is going to get done one way or another. I have the utmost confidence in the organization and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to get this deal done. So again, Justin Jefferson not at OTAs day one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your day, folks, and Skol Vikes.